Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. So today we're going to be changing an inverter, just a simple 3.6 kilowatt inverter. We were called to a job last week because the system itself wasn't generating as much as what they thought. They only discovered this when the feed-in tariff wasn't paying as much as what it has done in the past. So I came last week. It was a bit of a dull day, but we had a little look anyway just to see what was going on, and discovered that the inverter, which was 10 years old, was it was just about hanging in there. It wasn't great. So we did some tests and stuff. We got half decent results. They probably weren't great, but it was a dark, damp day. Certainly acceptable results, but we then at the inverter noticed that one of the sets of strings is basically, there's two arrays here, there's two strings of 8. I did notice that one of the strings didn't seem to be doing anything, because on isolating one of the strings the readings didn't change. Switching that one back on, switching off the other array, the inverter shut down. So it proves that there was definitely a problem on the inverter side. Also, the panels themselves, wow, I mean, they hadn't been cleaned in a long time, and I will be doing this later on. That obviously wasn't helping either. So, you know, it just reiterates to the customers that really we should be keeping these panels nice and clean, especially at this time of year with the summer coming. If you're going to get, you know, if you're going to maximize what your system can produce, and especially if you're on the feed-in tariff, you want it to be, your system to be working great, and so you know you're reaping the benefits. So yeah, so here we go. It's just a little video today on me changing the inverter, and just to show the differences, you know, with keeping panels clean and keeping your system maintained and up together. Okay, guys. So we're just coming into the loft space now. A little bit tight in here, but it's actually not too bad. I've seen a lot worse. Now I've already got all my stuff in, as you can see already. Today we're basically fitting a Solis SG S6, sorry. And here is the culprit inverter. Oh, nowhere to put my torch. Okay. Yeah, so here we go. So basically, it's an old Efficator, crikey, hardly even heard of it, ES5000. Just about hanging in there, like we say, at 10 years old. Good to see there's 2 DC isolators, one for each string, and the AC isolator. Well, I didn't notice this last time. This one was obviously knackered, broken, but a 3-string inverter. So I did test these last week, and these ones seem to be not working either. And I think it's actually this one here, string number 3, that's also not working, or string B as it's marked on there. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, so basically I know from last week's testing that these two aren't working, and we know that these two aren't working. So it's time to change out this this beast of an inverter and get it working. I'm just going to press some of these buttons. It's not very user friendly, this this inverter. So I'm just going to see. See, 0.4 amps straight away. That's a sign that something isn't right as well, because it is sunny outside. It's a nice bright sunny day. It is just the back of 8 in the morning, so maybe not, the sun's obviously not at its peak, and we're only drawing 0.08 kilo, 0.6 to 0.8 kilowatts just now between the 2 arrays. So let's get this inverter off. So normally in these situations, what we do first is we do the shutdown procedure. Now obviously 10 years ago they probably didn't need to put up a shutdown procedure or a schematic drawing, so obviously we know what it is just now anyway. So normally what we do is we would shut down the AC first, followed by the DC, and then obviously we would do some tests and we'll make sure that this is safe to work on. Obviously again, these days we would fit a fireboard on the back of here just to meet with the MCS regulations. But yeah, apart from that, we're good to go. I'll put it on a time lapse just to get it stripped off and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's the inverter on the wall, as you can see. Big difference. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the startup procedure, which basically you start up with the DC, and then you go with the AC. Now this particular inverter has actually got a DC isolator on it as well, but I always think it's best practice if you can have the DC isolators. It makes it a lot easier as well for testing. If you've ever got to do a short circuit test or anything like that, you can isolate the strings, join them together, and put the isolators back on. But yeah, so let's see what's happening here. Correct date, wrong time. Don't know if you can see that, what they're saying with the power. Not generate anything just now. That light is actually pretty difficult to see what it's actually saying because of the reflections. Hopefully it's going to kick in any second. Status waiting. It does normally take a couple of minutes just for it to gather its thoughts. Here we go, doing the soft run. Generating. So it's only doing 20 watts, as you can see that. 30, 40, here we go, we're going up. Okay, so we're already up to 170, 180. So we're steadily going up to 200. Last week we weren't even getting 30 watts. Now it was a cloudy day, but even so, you should be expecting to get more than 30 watts on what was a bright rainy day, and that proved obviously one of the strings wasn't working. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go. Here we go, look, we're already up to 340 now. It just keeps raising and raising. That's great. What we're going to do is we're going to go up on the roof and we're going to clean the panels. and see if that makes any difference. Now the sun is out and shiny today, so I'd love to see that right up to around about sort of between 2 and 3 kilowatt, but we'll see where the sun is, because this is on a slightly southwesterly pinnacle of the roof, I suppose. So you've kind of got some south and you've kind of got some west. Here we go, look, we're already up to 510, 520. I'm still going to go clean the panels. They need a good clean, so we want to get this producing as much as we can. So just come back from taking all my stuff down. Look, and you can already see that it's up to 1430 watts. That's without the panels clean. So like I say, I'm going to go clean them now and we'll see what the difference is. I mean, first look at the panels, you can see that they're pretty dirty, especially that one. And there's another 8 more over the other side. So let's get cracking. Certainly a lot better this side. Still a few stubborn stains, but probably they're going to need more of a sort of coarser kind of brush for that. But let's go and check the inverter and see what it's saying. Well, that's us back in the hot loft again. Panels all cleaned. Probably not to quite as good as I would like to. I need a brush that's going to be, like I said, a little bit more coarse on the some of the stubborn bad mess stains that have been there for a long time. But looking at the inverter, we're currently doing 1920 watts, 1.92 kilowatt. I like to have seen it over 2 kilowatts, but like you say, it's only 10:39 in the morning, so the sun's not even right above the house yet. Like I said, there's one on the it's kind of like the south and the west facing, so the one in the south just at the moment is getting obviously the most of it, and the west is just starting to kick in now, but I'd imagine after lunchtime that would be ideal. Okay guys, well that's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and hopefully you've learned something, but just remember, keep those panels clean and your system maintained, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye bye.